Blah, 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 blah. Hello YouTube, this is swtorPaladin. Making a video waiting for Conquest to reset here in about an hour and a half so we can see what planets we're going to get micromanaged on this week by BioTurdware. So, Bio Micromanageware. Okay, so this guy, Jake Burchell, asked me a question. I love to answer people's questions, and he asked a good one. He said, can you start a progression of a character from 0 to 55, and what server do you play on? I get asked that question like a million times. I put it down in the comments, but stop, and it's in the channel description, but I play on Beggar and Colony. It's this, Beggar and Colony. Feel free to start characters here. I'll throw you in the guild if you're gonna behave yourself. I always offer to help people out if they want to join the server. I've had a lot of people join the server from the YouTube channel, so go right ahead. I think you already know enough about me to know whether or not you're going to get along with me or not. Even if you're coming from the Europe servers, I'll help you start over. There's been a lot of people migrating over from the Europe servers lately. So, yep. Anyway, with that ahead, progressing in this game at the proper level is impossible. And before you freak out and flip out, just frickin' listen to somebody else for a second, because I get sick and tired of arguing every time I bring up a point. It's impossible because you can't lock your level. Because BioWare wants to, again, like I was saying at the beginning, micromanage the living hell out of everybody, but won't give us the tools to play the game how we want, especially on an RP server. I mean, the PvEers can't make up their own mind on a day-to-day basis. The PvPers just want to scream and flip out. The RP people just want to be left alone. And you can't play the planets how they're supposed to be played because you can't control your level. Even if you have no guild, so you don't get the guild bonus, even if you don't eat any XP potions, and you don't play on double XP weekends, and don't have any of the legacy XP bonuses, you still outlevel the planets if you do all the quests. How do I know this? Because I've done it. And I'm going to explain all of that to you. Not that it matters, and people aren't going to listen anyway, and they're going to argue, and I'm going to have to ban more people, because it seems like every couple of videos I'm banning at least 2 or 3 people, because people just like to argue, and I'm tired of arguing, and your points are invalid, and so I just delete and ban you. If you can't, critically construct discussion, then you just get banned. So, anyway, so we'll start from the top. Lancer, because of his RP, was doing space missions, and immediately outleveled everything. He was my very first character. No big deal. I didn't understand the order that the class missions were going in. I was trying to do the class missions last, only to find out that the class missions rehashed me through the entire planet, and didn't figure that out until when I was done with Narshada, actually, because I couldn't find the little barge thing. I thought if I got on the little hut barge, I was just going to fall through the planet. I was too scared to get on it and couldn't find where to do the quest, so, yeah, so Lancer took forever. No, you stay over there, cat. That's a different story for a different day, but that's one of my million heartaches with this game. So Lancer easily outleveled everything because he was doing the space missions. Fun fact, I'm trying to do the space missions on Samus now, who all my characters are 55, as you can see. Space missions follow character level, but need to be progressed through at actual level. So Samus, even though her ship's almost completely upgraded, she's got 2 pieces that still need to be upgraded. I can't figure out how to upgrade them. But she is having a hell of a time doing the ship missions. But Lancer, because again it was RP, he's a spacer, leveled up through the space missions, and he can do the space missions with his eyes closed almost. So I leveled everything like that. So my next character was Throttle, because again Lancer had been doing all the missions, and I found out very quickly that besides the class missions, which are like 5 to 10% of the quests you do, all the other quests were the same. That is just boring the hell out of me. So, as it would any, I think, reasonable, free-thinking person. So I decided what I would do on Lancer is skip the bonus quests, and then on Throttle, I would do the bonus quests. The hard part with that is that besides your healing droid, or your ship droid, which is nerfed into almost uselessness unless you overgear him. Back then, droid parts were almost impossible to come by. He doesn't get Doc until the end of Belmora, spoiler alert. Which nobody gives a shit now because you've just got Treek. But back then, before Treek, Belmora was very, very long. That's like frickin' second chapter. You gotta play without a damn healer. He's not the only class that has to go that far, but since Marauders are pure DPS, and they're one of the squishiest classes by far, so again, different video there, it was a real struggle, so I would play with other people, so primarily I think my significant other and I blazed through a lot of that stuff, which made it pretty much irrelevant, honestly, the difficulty of the game or the XP or anything. So at the same time as I leveled Throttle, I tried to level Extremist, who is tied for my second character, which is another story. But Extremist has exactly the same problem as Throttle. Doesn't get their healer right away. So he was using his ship droid because I'd already experienced the problems with Throttle, and I'm like, well, I'm just leveling up my ship droid from the get-go, even though he's nerfed. But the problem is like, no matter how much you gear up your ship droid, that stupid piece of friggin' crap jerk-off healing companion that he gets, which I hate. I hated him then, I still hate him now. It's another story, but I leveled up with my ship droid, so I did a couple of planets, and then I was like, you know what, F this is so boring. His personal quest was really, really fun. The story quests were just boring as shit. Oh, the Empire's here and killing everyone. Oh, the Empire's there and killing everybody. Like, the Empire is just this massive, genocidal, moronic, just freaking stupid, idiotic military entity that can't think for itself and don't just shoot the Sith in the back of the head one day. So I couldn't take it anymore. So Extremist went out on his own and made up my own stories, just using his roleplay that I'd made up for him. And started PvPing, and then he leveled up almost exclusively through PvP. So who was next? Viper was next. Viper, I don't really remember how Viper leveled up. But once I got going on him, it was easy. He was so easy to play. I remember I spent a lot of time just farming mobs, honestly. So I don't know. I don't really know. He had his own stories, so I was doing my own made-up stories with him. I think, primarily. Who was next? I think it would have been Samus. Samus leveled up, I think much the same way as Viper, making up her own stories. What companion did she level up with? I can't even remember. She ended up playing with Treek, but before that I know she was leveling up with her Jawa as much as possible. And I think Mako for a while. But I think Samus, same thing, played with my significant other a lot, so the leveling was just completely irrelevant. And then Armitage came next. Armitage leveled up almost exclusively through PvP. Literally. I mean, you can go watch it on my channel. And that's why some people say that I'm so good at him, because like I'm out DPSing people like that are in full 186 on Armitage, who's in some PvP gear and just some crap I bought with comms. Because I've been playing him for so long and actually learned my rotation, whereas most people don't, and I've dueled with him for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. You can also see some of his class stuff. Unfortunately, I lost. Well, it kind of got corrupted. That was like in April. Actually, he's had a couple of huge chunks of video get corrupted. But you can see some of his not level progression, but story progression, but I don't know. It would have been funny, but other than that, I'm not really sure what value it would have given anybody. After Armitage was Pinkerton, my crazy madness Sork, leveled up almost exclusively through PvP. I can't stand his personal story. Armitage's personal story was amazing. That's why I tried to record some of it, but like I said, I lost about half of it. And I tried to record some of him just driving around doing missions and things, but honestly, like 1 or 2 people max watched those videos. So I wasn't going to keep doing them and wasting people's, feeds by doing stuff that literally like 1 person watched, maybe 2. But Pinkerton leveled up almost exclusively through PvP. Kind of came into his own, just like all my characters do. Developed his personality. He's a goofball. He's crazy. And then, last but not least, Nacho, who leveled up almost entirely through Kuat and PvP. So, I literally haven't had a single character that has ever actually leveled up just by properly doing the missions. And I think that's a good thing. I think that it's good that the game has multiple ways to level up. My problem with that is, though, that you still get screwed on your story missions. And a lot of people have brought that up before, saying like, oh, you should still have to do your story missions. Well, those people can't think for themselves. I get so sick of all the freaking closed-minded, moronic people in this game. In my opinion, you shouldn't even have to do your class missions. If you want to go do a quest to pick up, X companion, you should be able to do it. I really don't give a shit about most of their stories. I really don't. I hate most of their stories. There's only a few that are cool, or that even apply to my RP. Like, getting M1, for example, is a highlight. But Bodar, I hated that. Corso, that was a good one. Mako's is weird and I still don't understand it. You know, Kalio's is just like... it's so... Kalio's is just so out there, you know, and like Brunmark's is cool. And Scourge's is obviously is amazing. It's just... And HK's is awesome. But HK, and Treek doesn't even get one. You should be able to like go to Kashyyyk and pick up Treek or something. I don't know. But my point is any character should be able to do the story for any companion in the entire game. Pick and choose. You should be able to make them ranged or melee, tank or heals. Whatever you want. It's just... And I guess to sum all that up, you literally can't, just like I said at the beginning, you can't level up a character by doing the quests. They'll be out-leveled and you'll be doing entire planets and they'll be gray. And then you'll have the bonus, and it'll be green, and then gray, and then you'll have, like, the next 3 planets out-leveled. And, like, so what are you supposed to do? Just, like, you can't skip those levels, because you're stupid effing story missions. So, this game was not built, like, modularly, like it should have been, to where you could just do whatever you wanted. You should be able to go to any planet you want, do any planet you want, in any order that you want. There should be every level of mob on every level. You should be able to control your own level, so you can play with whoever you want. And honestly, if you disagree with that, if you don't have your own valid point to make that is actually constructive, you're just closed-minded and you can't think for yourself. So, and there's plenty of other games out there that provide that. BioWare is just a massive micromanaging game that does not trust its own players, or a game manufacturer that doesn't trust their own players to be able to make their own experience. It's like they want to handhold, spoon feed, freaking wants everybody wearing diapers. And then you have to pay them to change your damn diapers. It's like, just let us play the game how we want to play it. So that's what I did. I played the game how I wanted to play it. And there's people that like that. So, and those are the people that I'm going for. So, someday, I'll make more videos about my RP stuff. But until then, you just gotta deal with whatever I feel like making videos of. Because the people out there that already like me and already think like me already want to see the videos that I'm gonna make. So, I really don't care about widening my audience because I've already found my audience, if that makes sense. If you want other stuff out there, there's plenty of other people who sit there and cater to the people who can't think for themselves. That's the other freaking... I don't even know. It's like almost everybody. So I'm trying to find people who can think for themselves and who can enjoy the videos for what they are, which is me leveling up however I want, making videos of the funny, quirky things that I like to do. So, I hope this makes sense, and thanks for the question, and keep the questions coming. I love it when people ask good questions of stuff that I haven't answered before. So, talk to you guys later, bye.